Gundam.tk presents High Grade AGE-1 Sparrow. Hey again everybody, it's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs from YouTube and Gundam.tk, and as the AG Sparrow is there to go along with the AGE-1 Normal and Titus, yes, it's time for the High Grade 1/144th review of the Sparrow or Sparrow, whatever you want to call it, from Gundam Age. It's the speed variation, as AGE-1, the first generation, seems to be coming to an end. December 2011 release. 1200 Japanese yen, the same as the Normal and Titus. Some sharp looking cover art, and in the series of high grade Gundam Age, this is number 7, 1/144th. For a look around the box, I've become very accustomed to seeing these plates laid out here. You're going to have the A and the I, it looks like. But it's great to see the plates before you get them out of the box, especially the A plate, because that always sets the tone. And actually, this whole Gundam has really grown on me as the speed type. At first, when I saw the preview of the Titus, I thought I'd like the Titus a lot more than the Sparrow. Seeing it debut in the anime and everything like that was certainly helping it, but I think it's going to add a very cool dynamic, especially when you see poses like that. These are the ball joints and everything that they've been bragging about since the beginning of the AGE-1 Normal. Nothing about this line has let me down so far, and if it can pull off poses like that, I'm sure it's going to be great. In terms of weapons, it's got the Sigil blade, or the Sigil blade. It's not Sigil anyway. And it's going to have that blade. I wonder how that's going to work for colors. And yes, that's the mystery of the AGE-1's back waist section. That's where the knife is going to plug in. Wolf's doesn't, but this one does. Sort of cool that he's got additional weapons similar to the Titus in his knees. He's got needle guns there that are going to bend down, it looks like. And you're going to get two sets of manipulators, including something you don't see very often. It's going to be the right hand that's the open dynamic one, and the left one that's the closed fist. And a closed fist like that in a high grade is pretty unusual. You're also going to have these booster thrusters, which are going to open up on the back of the forearms. Interesting to see some white in there. The very familiar seal for the chest, along with those little black lines in between the yellow parts, because they are actually made up. And you've got so many different ways you can put this guy together that he's going to be fantastic for posing, or so it seems. Who doesn't love the Age voiceover at the beginning? And there's a few scenes, you can barely make it out there, but it is there. Here's the actual line art of the Sparrow, and I have to say that when I built the advanced grade, I didn't realize how much gray there was in this guy. When I look at this one, it's mostly blue. The AG has some extra blue, but when I look at this, I say there may be too much white down there in the forearms and the ankles, something that the AG doesn't have. And usually I'm all for more color applications, but I wonder if this one's going to be detrimental. It remains to be seen once it's all put together. Here you've got a recreation from the anime where the Sparrow is cutting through the Zetas sword as he turned him into many broken limbs before forcing him to run back. And here we have an unpainted version of the Sparrow, and compared to some of the other ones, I wonder how different this is from the Pro one, because it seems to be a little bit bland here compared to some of the other sharp pictures. But as always, the truth is going to be revealed inside the box. Inside the box, you're going to get one bag with the A-plate seals, gray, and then white, gray, and blue, in addition to the manual. The A-plate is the four colors of Gundam goodness that you'd come to expect, but what I didn't expect is for the Sparrow and the Titus and the Normal to have such similar A-plates. In fact, this one is identical to what you're seeing here for the Titus, and for the Normal there's just two extra red parts and extra blue parts, but otherwise down there, everything that you're going to need for most of the colorful chest. And where the Normal gave us B and C plates and the Titus gave us D and up, here with the Sparrow you're going to be getting H and up. And it wasn't until I built the advanced grade that I realized how much gray there was in the Sparrow. The blue certainly dominated all the promo shots, but here you're going to get everything you need for the joints and for the leftover parts like the chest. Cool looking open hand there for its right hand, and all the parts that you're going to need for the very gray limbs. The I plate has all the blue parts that aren't included on the A plate. A very small J plate, which is going to give you the extra white parts that are going to be used in the feet and ankles, and you're going to be getting the actual blade in there, which is in white. Pretty normal stickers up at the top. You're going to get everything you need for the head there and for the chest. And if you want to change the color of the blade from white to this sort of bluey greenish, you can actually put a sticker on either side, and it's got some indents there. I wonder how this is going to work, or whether I'm sure you'd be better off painting it, but I wonder if this will be a decent substitution. To the manual with that sharp looking cover art, and then you're going to have the explanation about what the Sparrow is all about and how it's the continuation of the Titus. And it doesn't really have a lot of weapons when you stop and think about it, but hopefully the blade is going to be enough. There's Flodasino looking very strange there, 14 years old at this point before the second generation starts off. The Age device before going inside, where it's color splash page time, and yes, those are some fantastic poses. I don't know how these are going to work with and without an action base. I'm sure the action base is going to work a lot better. But yes, going back to the Master Grade Ground Gundam, when you see things like that for much cheaper, it's always impressive. The front and back are looking good. They show off some of the Diva's crew. And down here you're going to see the mechanics, the same features just shown off on the side of the package. Of more interest to me was just this pose here, which is very JoJo-esque, I want to say. I don't really know why. But anyway, the Titus has his Hulk poses, but the Sparrow will probably sit like that on my shelf for quite a while. The same features we've already seen. There's the other two wares. And when you take a look at the color guide, you may have noticed that they released a Gundam AGE marker set, which is pretty cool. The blue is ever so slightly different from the regular RX-78-2. But the Shigo blade or whatever is pale green there, and it's got pale green 60%, white 40%, and a little bit of indie blue for those of you that want to go mix and paint this up properly. On the inside, you'll see the A, H, I, J, and the polycap plates, 40 yen a pop to replace missing parts and after you build the chest, and the head, which has got to be very familiar after building a few of the other ones. The arms put the upper body together and then put the lower body together. Pop on two blue side skirts with a simple polycap peg there, put the body together, and then you're going to have no details at all. There's no transformation and no fancy weapon gimmicks other than putting the blade together, which actually has 3 plastic parts, plus 2 seals. You can put it front and back in the hand, or plug it in down there, and that's looking very sharp on the action base. It's going to have not a custom mount or anything like that, but basically just undo that gray peg there. There's the boosters and the needle gun. It looks like it's a 2-part move to bring down the legs and the foot, so I wonder how that's going to work in practice. So that was a fun unbox for me, just because, again, sort of like the Titus, I hadn't really seen as many promos as I think about this, so I'm surprised by some of the features. I'm talking about the needle guns in the knees, and the fact that it's got those thrusters on the back of the arms. The AG had blue back there, and I wondered why, and now I understand with the high grade, so I can't wait to see it all put together. It will certainly surpass this in quality. It's just a question of how much, and is it going to be worth double the money? Anyway, everybody, always great to hear from you. What do you think of the AGE-1 Normal, the Titus, the Sparrow, the whole concept of the three? How did you think about the Sparrow's debut in the anime? And I'm really looking forward to the model, and I hope you are too, so stay tuned for the next part, where you'll see all the parts before seeing the mobile suit all put together. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. See you next time. Dumb question, I know, but since I'm supposed to be the fast one here, why am I the last to arrive?